Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is At the Buzzer, and we're joined as always by Jack. How you doing?
Brian, we're good. Thanks for having me.
And Ryan, how you doing?
Jack already spoke for me, bro.
I did. I said we.
Oh, you said
Didn't
we
mean
get.
to.
Oh,
I didn't even mean to.
We touched base before the show. We checked in on each other. We're all doing
We
well.
have.
good.
I check it on Ryan on the daily.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're good. We're big on mental health at Wicked Good Sports.
Try to be. Well, what's not helping mental health is 2 straight losses after 9 straight wins here. Let's talk about the good first. Ryan, last 10 games, the Celtics are 8-2, obviously 9 straight wins. What have the Celtics done to be the best team in the East? Maybe the best team in basketball. Used to say. Hopefully, you'll have a better take on that than me. But yeah, what have you seen out of the Celtics in the last month or so?
I mean, I was just thinking back, relative to other teams, fans, and just problems in general. 2 losses after a 9-win streak doesn't seem like such a big deal, right? But
Right. That's a very good point.
I mean, a good example of what is going right with the Celtics, ultimately, like you can really break it down, but I think to put it in simpler terms, if you look at like the Warriors, like Tatum and Brown were awful most of the game, right? But who stepped up? All their role players, right? Just the amount of depth, like Derek White, Al Horford, Rob Williams, Marcus Smart. Like they probably have 6 players in the NBA that I think would probably be in the top 100 NBA players. Very few teams can boast that. And, they're all two-way players. They all play hard. They're shooting well. And again, I think the chemistry with the team, and, you can see when a couple of them out how it impacts them, right? The last 2 games, I mean, Marcus Smart really is kind of the engine of that team. And even if we don't see it, it's not as noticeable with Brown and Tatum handling the ball a lot. Smart is doing a lot to defer to those guys and facilitate on the offensive end. And, we all know what he is capable of on the defensive end, especially just as an energy spark plug at the end of games when you guys really need that boost. So, yeah, I would just say, simply put, they have 2 of the best players in the league, right? Potentially starting all-stars and an incredible group of role players. I mean, Brogdon's been an amazing addition. I think he's a clear candidate for 6th man of the year. I mean, but he's shooting still 45% from 3. Yeah. He can pretty much score from anywhere on the floor at will. But he doesn't need to. Plays defense. Can make like the point guard. He was a starting point guard prior to coming over to us. Yeah, it's just a great team. I keep forgetting Dario Gallinari is on the team too. I'll just randomly see him in a suit.
Yeah, one day we'll actually get to see him play, which will be awesome. Probably not this season, right? Probably.
No, he's out. He's out for the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would come back for the playoffs. I don't think so. I think it's like a full rehab thing from what I know.
Well, we don't want to rush him. I mean, we don't need to rush him, right?
He tore his ACL before. I know that, and I believe it was a full year the first time. So if it's the second time, I'd imagine it's going to be the same length, not longer.
Yeah, no doubt. So moving a little bit from the positives to the negatives, what's happened these past 2 games? I mean, we'll really get in depth of the Heat game, just because it's so fresh when this is coming out, and also Heat Celtics, a little bit of rivals. So we never want to, regardless of who's out for the game, never want to lose to the Heat.
Yeah.
And conversely, I'm sure they always want to beat the Celtics. So, what happened in that Magic game, Jack?
I would say I think you're talking a lot about the Heat here, Bri. I think we're forgetting the real enemy in the Florida, and that would be the Orlando Magic, because they have
the Celtics number. What is
they
happening?
are 3-0 against the Celtics this year.
Yeah.
So that I don't know what's going on with that, to be honest with you. They are a young team. They're kind of feisty, and you see it. You see sparks and flashes of these guys every game, right? You see Cole Anthony throw down a jam, and that's when you're like, wait a minute, this isn't looking good. But no, I think the Magic ultimately are, again, they kind of have a lot of unique players that can do a lot of different things, which make it weird for us to guard and weird for us to play against or play make against. Plus, you have a couple guys out, right? A couple guys that get hurt. So you add that in, and it's kind of like, okay, like, yeah, sure. They do have our number, I think, frankly. If there's one team I don't want to play in a series in the playoffs right now, and this is probably a little bit this is probably a little bit overblown, but you know where I'm going with this, right? I don't want to see Ball staring us down, and the Celtics outcasts of Ball and Mo Wagner sitting on the bench.
It's always a revenge game for him. Fortunately, right now the Magic are 18-29. But in fairness, a full 16% of their wins are against the Celtics, the best team in the East. So basketball is weird. Sports are weird.
Hey, Celtics
says something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm. It's just funny that they've just not played well against the Magic this season at all, and hopefully they'll figure something out in the All-Star break. They'll get together, study some film on just the Magic.
How many more times? I don't think we play them again.
No, we don't. I was just going to say that we're in the clear. We no longer have to deal with a pesky Magic. So
I think it's 3 times we play each Eastern Conference team.
Yep.
But I was going to say, I think Jack made an excellent point where like a big advantage for our team, right, is our most of the players be able to defend a lot of positions. It's kind of hard to target a lot of our guys aside from a couple bench players. But they just have, it's like the Monstars, really. They just have a lot of like freaky, lengthy guys that can just, score. They're like defensive players are all like, obviously they have Wendell Carter, but like they have like guys like Bolts and Suggs who are almost like big men and like little guy bodies who do more of like the background stuff, and then they have all their forwards and centers are just gigantic like point guards. It's kind of bizarre, and a lot of them can just get buckets.
Yep.
Specifically in Paolo, he's been shooting pretty badly from 3. And I think he shot like 4 for 5. Was it 4 for 5, something like that? Like, yeah.
Hey, respect to them.
Oh yeah.
Nothing else.
They've committed to the rebuild.
Yeah. All right. So from the spooky Magic to the Heat, that game yesterday disappointing. I think. Jack, we talked earlier a little bit. You said that going into the game probably a loss based on who wasn't playing. But the Celtics were fully in control of this game for much of it. How disappointing was it to fall short in that game?
I think very given the circumstance, I really would have rather we'd just be out of it the whole time. I think the reason that gave me any glimmer of hope to begin with was that Jimmy was out as well for the Heat. And I was like, okay, this gives us an opportunity to kind of make up for that loss. Maybe we do have a shot or at least play competitively. And we did. So from that regard, I'm happy. And I think like Ryan said too, this is the only fan base that, like, if you're looking at this after 9 wins and then you have 2 losses when you're shorthanded, you're like, oh my God, like the world is going to end. So it is disappointing given the circumstances, and we just could not score for, I think was it 6 minutes in the fourth there?
Yeah, it was 5 and change at least. Went from like 87 to 77 to like 92, 87 or something like ridiculous. Like
somebody hit a 3. I can't remember if it was Grant or Al or someone, but I remember that happening, and it was just kind of like, this isn't good. They're just, to the whole game, including the Heat, there was no flow at all, right? It was just everything felt rigid. Nobody really like had control and was going on a run aside from the Heat in that fourth quarter, but that was more at our own devices of just not being able to put the ball in the friggin' hoop. So that was
kind of these two teams, it's kind of like throw all the schemes and plays and everything out the window. A little bit of a street fight on the court between them, and just like whichever team can come out. But obviously very disappointing too at the end of the game. Jason Tatum has the ball. Celtics have, I think, at least 2 timeouts, didn't use any. Jason Tatum, one of the worst turnovers I've ever seen in my life. Bad. And just a lot of turnovers from the Celtics. So sloppy basketball. But yeah, not great. But there's bright stuff ahead. I know, Ryan, you today, at time recording, posted a blog of Eastern Conference All-Stars that you think are most likely going to make it. Any Celtics on that list?
You'll have to look at the article and find out. You know,
Give us a
Go ahead.
tease for the listeners so that they go over.
There is at least one I have as a starter.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Don't
So
want to give it to you. Don't want to give too much info. You know.
yeah. Well,
Get them over there.
we want people to go read the blog, so that'll be in the link down below. Ryan works very hard. Give him a click, give him a read, maybe share it on Twitter even. That'd be cool. But yeah, anything else for the Celtics that we didn't touch on that you guys wanted to touch on?
No, just that I guess as we're looking forward, right, we're going through some injuries. I do think like the turnovers have come back a little more. You know,
Yeah.
we've noticed that the past few games have been like really sloppy ball handling and turnovers, even by like, you know, our most reliable guys. But I've kind of accepted that that's kind of part of our team's identity when we kind of lose ourselves a bit, right? You see these with a lot of really good teams. The Warriors have always been known for that, where they just get like lazy, or like, you don't want to say lazy, but they just kind of fall asleep until it's really time to step up. So I don't think it's anything worrying. I still think they're undoubtedly, as of right now, the best team in the Eastern Conference. And yeah, overall, I think Celtics fans should still feel very excited about what's to come.
Yeah, I think that's well said. And Jack, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think spot on. I'm looking at the schedule coming up too, right? And if you look at who we're playing against, it's a couple of big market teams that aren't necessarily great, so that'll be good for notoriety. LA, New York Knicks, the Nets, question mark. I don't know what they're going to be like. Kyrie tends to hate us and go off against us, or put up like 10, 5, and 6 or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see us going into the All-Star break. Hopefully a couple of our guys at least in the game, but definitely starting would be great. I'm looking forward to the All-Star break. I think that'll be good for our guys to get rested, get healthy too, get some of these nagging injuries out of the way with Jaylen Brown's adductor issue. Yeah, right. So yeah, I think Ryan said it very well. I think we're still in a good spot. Still a lot of reasons to be excited about this team. No, by no means should we be slamming the panic button right now.
Yeah, and like you said, Jack, I know where I'll be on Saturday night at 8:30 watching Lakers Celtics, and then next Wednesday 7:30 watching Nets and Celtics. So yeah, a lot of fun games coming up here for Boston fans. So yeah, Jack, where can they find you online?
Best place to find me is on Twitter, and that's at Jack_Tiernan. Follow me there for NBA takes as they come, MLB takes, NFL takes. We're getting towards the Super Bowl now, scary stuff. You can also follow me on Instagram, and that's at Jack Disc Golf's my disc golf account, doing a lot of disc golf content. Just took a road trip down the East Coast and played a bunch of courses on my way down. So follow me those places.
Awesome, you'll follow them there. And then Ryan, anywhere you want people to follow you or anything you want to promote? Like you said, you get the blog.
Just the blog. That's about it. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, go. That is wickedgoodeverythingsports.com for that. And other than that, thank you so much for your time, gentlemen.
Brian, thank you for having us.
Of course. I'll see you all in the next one.